fueled by C4, Cellucor, and Extend. Use the code Clydesdale to get 20% off at checkout at c4energy.com. On Clydesdale Media, where we bring you the widest array of content here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notifier so you're first to know when new episodes are available. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Two Dudes Movie Review and C4 Wednesday.
C4
That's
Wednesday.
a bad product placement. There we go. There we go. Good product placement.
There you go.
C4, every Wednesday, C4 Wednesday, when I get to hang with Charlie.
Every day is a C4 day.
There you go.
Maybe
that's
two.
The snow cone, Arctic snow cone.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like that.
That and that midnight cherry.
That and midnight cherry, man. Gotta love the midnight cherry. Holly is with us, which means she won't know any of the movies we're going to talk about.
She might.
Then we'll have to explain them all.
She might catch one or two.
So my first question to you is, what are you streaming? Because last week you told me about Warrior, and now I'm hooked. I'm about 5 episodes into season 1. You didn't tell me like each episode was a movie.
Yes. I'm telling you, it is just good.
It's a combination of like a little Jackie Chan humor, a little Sopranos, with a little great old school kung fu.
Yeah.
And at different times, it's different things.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen in the episode. It could be, and then you're like, wait, where do these guys come from? Who's this?
Right. Yeah, I didn't know there were that many forks on the tongue.
Right.
Like, these guys are the descendants of Genghis Khan.
Right.
These
guys.
Okay.
These guys are onions. I like how they do we're speaking Chinese, but we're actually you're gonna hear it in American, but we'll give you that little. I thought that was clever.
Yeah, it's much better than the overdub of the 1970s and 80s.
Yeah.
But then when they pulled in the Irish mob on top of everything.
Yeah. Like, now we're in a whole. She's adding all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Great show, though. Great show.
Yeah, this week I'm nothing crazy. Hard Knocks. Kind of where we're at now.
I'm caught up with that until I have to catch up on last night's, but
yeah,
it's on too late for me.
Yeah. But outside of that, that's pretty much it. How about you? Other than
I started watching The Diplomat.
Oh, is that with Christoph?
It's with the girl from Felicity.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? Go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say there was something else I started watching, but go ahead.
So it's only 8 episodes. It's only 1 season right now on Netflix. It is West Wing with like a mystery behind it and maybe some crookedness that West Wing didn't have. Really, really good show. I'm over halfway through with that. But that's one Julie and I are watching together. Warrior, she is not into. That is just
she's not
a Scott show that I am off on my own. So you said there was another one?
It's called Lioness Special Ops.
It's on my list.
Yes, it's on. It's pretty good so far. I've only seen 2 episodes, but Zoe Saldana, Cole Kidman's got an appearance in there. It's pretty good so far.
I can't believe there's actually a debate going on in our chat about Batman and Robin, one of the worst movies from the superhero genre, in my opinion.
It's right down there with
only-
X-Men 3.
The only redeeming quality of Batman and Robin is Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl. I wish they would have explored that a little bit more.
And her leather suit.
Yes, that you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, other than that, no.
Yeah, everything else trash.
And Clooney's not a terrible Batman. It's just all of
But
it was
man, that whiny Robin needed to be just put out of his misery early in that movie.
Poor Chris O'Donnell. He didn't have a chance.
And now NCIS LA's canceled, so back on the streets.
Hopefully he save some checks.
So another piece of news coming out of the world, and what I found funny is that on some of the research I did, this was listed as a superhero movie. Never in my wildest dreams did I think of this as a superhero movie, but Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, I've seen people relate it to that. Yeah.
But there's a new Netflix animated show coming out with the entire original cast in November. Called Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Okay. Even with the worst Superman ever?
Yep. Brandon Routh.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the 7 deadly X's.
Yes.
Yeah. Scott Pilgrim is one of my favorite movies of all time. I would never consider it a superhero movie, though.
No. I mean, there's a lot of weird flying around and weird shit.
It's a video game movie.
Yes.
Is what it is. It's not a superhero movie.
Which could be another genre to explore.
Kenneth DeLapp is going to pass on the Scott Pilgrim. Well, you're the one that said that Arnold was redeeming in Batman and Robin and Uma Thurman. Both trash. Sorry, dude. Our tastes do not align. I'm going to throw this up in case anybody wants to comment. Live call-in number. There it is. We are hooked up and ready to go with that. Are we ready to do this? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 honorable mentions. Just so you know.
Okay. Why don't you start with your number 5?
My number 5. Okay. I'm going to copy and paste it because it's not easy to shoot. I changed the configuration and now my cords are getting all tangled. So here we go. Number 5 for me is, if you know me, you know my nickname at my old gym.
Here we go.
Tattoo with the hammer. One of them had to make the list.
Yeah.
And there's only one really that's redeeming of the movies based on this character.
Yeah.
And that is, I'm going to share my screen, shoot, is Thor Ragnarok.
Yes, sir.
And so I have that on my list right there.
Copy and paste that to number 5.
That's your number 5 as well.
Yes, sir.
So I'm not gonna change the share screen if it's the same thing. It is on your list, sir.
It is.
Thor Ragnarok. Helena was a great villain. Yep. She demolished Mjolnir, the hammer. But the epic piece is when Thor gets the haircut and realizes he can harness the lightning from his dead father Odin, and his eyes light up, and the Led Zeppelin song comes playing, and it is an epic moment in that movie, and it is freaking awesome.
I mean, it starts off with a great song in the beginning where he's fighting the I can't think of the guy's name now, with the horns.
Loki?
My helmet. No. When he's chained up in the thing and he's before he steals the helmet of for Ragnarok. It's the very first scene of the whole movie.
Okay, I don't know. I'm at a loss.
He's basically made out of he's the one that they destroy. They put the fire on. How they kill Helena, or allegedly. We don't know if she's actually dead, but
yeah. So yeah, okay, yeah, but it was a great movie start to end. Like the Hulk piece, was great in that movie. The Matt Damon and the appearance as the actors, in the play,
and the third brother, the third Hemsworth, Valham. Yes, that is the one.
And so it's actually Surtur. They've come up with it.
Yes.
The giant breathing fire demon at the beginning.
Yes.
Yes. There you go. All right.
So
I can't believe we copied on our first one.
Yeah. It's just a great movie. I mean, it is the best of the Thors by far.
So I guess I move on to my number 4. And so this was so hard, man. So hard. But this one for me is Deadpool 2.
Okay. Then my honorable mention.
What's that again?
That's in my honorable mention.
I thought it elevated from movie 1, and I thought that'd be hard to do because I love both Deadpool movies. But the second one with Cable Cable added a lot to this one.
Yep.
I thought it was a great movie, super funny. The villain being a 12-year-old, 15-year-old kid, whatever it was, was awesome. And it just added to the appeal of Deadpool and the humor of everything. And yeah,
great stuff. Luck is not a superpower.
Yet the only person that survived
right.
from the plane.
A quick cameo by Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
As the Invisible
Man. Tom Cruise.
It was Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Literally like a half second.
Yes.
What? Already can see where Scott's list is going?
Oh, how? All right, well, guess we'll see.
I bet you don't, because really the big surprises are coming.
Kenneth, call out his number 3.
Holly is known every movie we've talked about so far. Chris Pie.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a big step for Holly this week.
I'm gonna go with my number 4 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Nice.
You got a fantastic soundtrack.
Yeah. Top 5 soundtrack of all time for sure.
Rocket's fantastic. Chris Pratt is doing the same role he does in every movie, but that's fine. You beat Chris Pratt.
I think Kenneth is playing the role of Bruce Wayne today. He's just trying to push buttons.
Character arcs.
Where's the drama? Where are the character arcs?
There you go. Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a love story. some drama, it's a sibling rivalry. It's all the things you need.
Yeah. You
Got
have a dancing tree.
dancing tree. You've got Batista at the height of his powers.
Man, Batista's awesome in those. Maybe the best wrestler turned actor.
Now let's not get out of hand.
Really? You think The Rock's better?
You have heard of Thunder Lips, haven't you?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yes, The Rock is better. Of course he is. Than Batista?
Yeah.
No.
Batista's awesome, man. Have you seen Stuber?
Yes.
Stuber is a great movie. And he had to play blind for much of that role.
Have you seen Tooth Fairy?
That is awful. The Rock should have lost his acting card for that one.
Hobbs and Shaw's great.
Okay.
Maybe it's because of Jason Statham, but that's neither here nor there.
All right.
You're number
Next
3.
one. Okay. Kenneth is going to be like this down the fairway again. But it is great. It's just a great movie. It is one of the best for sure. Avengers Endgame. Yep, can't see that too well. There we go.
Yeah. Great end to the.
I think this sums it up. That The Rock is a blockbuster actor. Batista is a little more picky with his roles. He has to feel it in his heart.
He said, "How can I not speak that much and be in this movie?" Perfect. I'll take it.
Avengers Endgame had to make the list because 1, it was an amazing movie. 2, the expectations for it to be amazing were super high, and it could have very easily let us down.
Yes.
Because it was the culmination of all of this huge story arc, and it actually delivered on a great ending to that arc. So it had to make this list. Every major Marvel character was in the movie, and it was awesome.
I agree.
And Kenneth, again, pushing the buttons, never even watched it, jumped off the train of Marvel at Civil War.
I don't know why, because Civil War is great too.
Civil War is great. Civil War was on my honorable mentions.
Same.
So
my number 3 was actually Infinity War, so kind of the same.
All right. Infinity War. When you saw this movie, did you know the ending?
No, because I saw it the day it came out.
Yeah, me too.
Midnight.
And that was
like, what?
Yeah, I left the theater stunned. Half of my heroes are gone.
Yes. Except the original 6.
It was so crazy. And again, why Endgame had to be on the list is because how do you follow that up?
Yes.
And not mess it up? And they did an amazing job with that. So awesome job there. And I will go to my number 2. And here's where it gets a little bit off for me. That off this Kenneth abuse that I am receiving. And my number 2 is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. And it was just so surprising to me. I never thought that I would like this because of the way it was done. But Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is one of the best movies I've ever seen, superhero or not. So well done. The story was so well written, I forgot it was a cartoon 5 minutes in.
That's the
And
last
I have
one.
not seen the sequel. I've not seen the sequel, but I need to.
Oh, this is the first one.
This is the first
Spider-Verse.
one. Yeah.
The second one is probably better.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know how. The first one was so good. And the twist of who the villain was and like everything, it was just so well done.
Yeah, you definitely need to see the next one.
I don't know what Kenneth is. Infinity War is the Empire Strikes Back of Marvel movies.
I don't know if that's a compliment or depends on if you like Empire Strikes Back, I guess.
Scott, you're killing me. I don't know why.
Was flat out amazing. All right.
Corey said, if Into the Spider-Verse was flat out amazing. Holly says, as much as I really don't care for Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse was amazing.
There you go.
Yeah. Awesome. So now we go back to you.
My number 2.
Got a better way to do this share screen stuff back and forth.
My number 2 is Winter Soldier. I mean, he holds a
shorter
onto a building. You got
one more time with that.
You got top-notch Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie doing Anthony Mackie things.
Before we dive off of this, like these characters became so embedded over the last 20 years. Like, could you picture anybody else's Black Widow other than Scarlett Johansson?
No.
And the dude who plays the Winter Soldier, like Bucky, I could not picture anybody else playing that role.
I agree. That's why he keeps continuing to play it.
Kenneth DeLapp writes, Winter Soldier was great, showed how much promise, so much promise for Marvel, then it just became a Disney brand. And I think like they've done a good job of like Tony Stark is Robert Downey Jr. Chris Hemsworth is Thor. And some of them, like Robert Downey Jr. was a very well-respected actor before all these movies, and yet he encapsulates that person so much.
Yeah, you can't really reboot any of these people like you have. Now, Spider-Man, they did a great job, but I think Holland's the best Spider-Man. But
by far, they finally got it right. Like Spider-Man is a teenage kid,
right?
And it took them 3 attempts to get a teenage kid or a guy that looks like a teenage kid to play him.
Yeah, because Toby was 40 when he played,
maybe 50.
He did have the best dance moves of anyone in the third Spider-Man when he had the black suit on.
I actually did like that Spider-Man a lot. I think almost more though that they brought back all the villains from the others.
Yeah.
To get Jamie Foxx and Doc Ock back and all it was just freaking awesome.
Yeah. And the 2 Spider-Mans.
Yeah. I think the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans are underrated. I think they actually got better as they went along. Like, I think Toby's were good. Andrew Garfield's were a little bit better. And then the Tom Holland ones are great.
Yeah. Yeah, he just looks like he's Spider-Man.
Yeah. And the way he like fanboys after like Tony Stark and
Yeah.
all the other characters, like it just, he does it so well.
I have a feeling we're going to have the same number 1.
You think?
I mean, there's only really one answer here, so yes.
You have X-Men 3?
X-Men 3, which could be worse than Batman and Robin.
Dark Phoenix?
I don't. Do any of the X-Men count? I don't think they count as anything because
There
they're
were.
all.
Oh man,
No.
Days of Future Past was really good.
If you're comparing them to the others, it's the best of those. Yes.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence as the
Mystique.
I will be okay with that again.
I'm a big fan of Jennifer Lawrence. Scott, what's your favorite era of Star Wars? Prequels, originals, or sequels? Kenneth, this is a superhero show. We'll do Star Wars another time. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I like the movies. I think they're fine. But when I was a kid, I was much more into Indiana Jones. That was my jam. That was the movie. You know what X-Men almost made my list was Logan. That movie was freaking awesome. It was
Logan.
A whole new dark side of the Marvel universe.
Yes.
That I think Deadpool opened up an avenue to. And then Hugh, whatever his name is, Jackman jumped right through that hole and took it as dark as they could take a damn superhero movie.
And now they're going to be in it together. Deadpool 3.
Yeah, that's going to be epic too. All right, so I'm delaying because you're probably right. We probably have the same number 1. And really, for me, this whole arc, trilogy, whatever you want to call it, was as good as it gets for me. So honestly, probably all 3 I would almost put in the top 5.
Homecoming.
If I could.
Yes.
How did you know, Kenneth? And that is, I had to pick one of the 3, so I picked the one that was most critically acclaimed, and that is The Dark Knight.
That is the one.
The way that they looked at good versus evil and how one cannot exist without the other. When the Joker looks at Batman and says, "The reason you need me is because if I don't exist, you don't exist." But the entire trilogy, the entire Begins and Returns and The Dark Knight is freaking awesome. Best set of superhero movies ever. For me.
That is the right answer and the correct answer.
And so I will go to yours and add that as the number 1. This is the first time we've actually matched more than one movie. Whoops, that's my notes. I really do have to find a better way to do this share screen stuff back and forth.
I mean,
There's
there's
got
so
to be
many.
a way you can just add these windows in.
Yeah, there's
Go
so
ahead.
many great scenes in it. I mean, from the bank heist in the beginning to meeting all the mob boss. I mean, everything is great. Ledger's great.
If I have one knock on this movie, it's they should have kept Two-Face completely out of it.
Yeah, but you needed him to be the good guy.
Well, he needed his own movie almost. Like there was so much potential there that they left on the table because of the Joker and how good Heath did with it. I almost wish they would have used him more in one of the others than just be a throwaway character in this one.
Well, it couldn't be the next one because Bane was fantastic too.
Right. But Begins didn't really have a great villain.
No.
And Two-Face is so freaking cool with the coin flip and it just, because what Begins was Scarecrow.
Yeah.
I mean, he's okay, but
he's no Penguin. Penguin would have been good.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito is a great Penguin, though. I'll give him that. He looks like a Penguin.
And the guy they did as the Penguin in the Batman, I thought was okay. I didn't care for that movie as much. It came with all this great talk, but it just didn't sing for me. I didn't like teenage whiny Batman.
And it was too dark to be I get it needed to be dark, but it was just too dark visually.
Yeah.
What are you doing? We're hiding here.
But almost Batman Returns or the rise of the Dark Knight. Nobody has done Catwoman better than my girl, and now I can't even think of her name.
Michelle Pfeiffer?
No. And the Rise.
And Rises. Oh, Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. She played the split personality so freaking well.
Yeah.
Like most people dive into the one side of it, but she understood the assignment of that it's a person with a split personality. And she was sexy Anne Hathaway and psychotic Catwoman. Like she had both.
Rode a good motorcycle. That's for sure.
Yeah. And Christian Bale, the best Batman by far. And if you say anybody else, fight me.
Listen. Okay.
We might have to do an episode where we rank the Batmans.
That would be a short episode. Because
there's only there's 6 or 7 of them that you get to choose from.
Are you counting Adam West?
The order. What's that?
You're counting Adam West?
Sure, he was better than some.
Or Kevin Conroy, who does the cartoon voices.
Corey, don't even come at me with that.
Is the one true.
That's not even like real Batman if you read the comics. Christian Bale like gets it. He gets who Batman is. Michael Keaton is pretty good.
Michael Keaton was fantastic.
Christian Bale took it to another level. But I am a Christian Bale fanatic. Like that dude doesn't make bad movies.
Clooney wasn't a bad one. He was just in a bad movie. It's the wrong time.
Yeah. It's kind of like The Flash.
Look at that, guys. Luckily, we never had to see him again. But
yeah. So anyway, that's that. I know you have a list of honorable mentions.
I mean, Spider-Man's on there. The first Avengers was great. Incredibles is a great superhero movie.
Incredibles is great. Incredibles 2, meh.
Meh.
But
there's actually a show called now Invincible, which is pretty dark, but pretty freaking good. If you haven't seen that, you need to watch that.
Wasn't that a Bruce Willis movie?
That was
with Samuel Jackson.
That was, but there's a cartoonish one. I believe it's on Netflix. I can't remember what it's on.
Okay,
but you need to watch that one.
Well, Kenneth brings up Blade, which actually made my honorable mentions.
Blade was on my list too. Yep.
Kenneth, you say Hitchcock. I think you mean Hancock.
And no. Not.
So Kenneth says Invincible is on Amazon.
There you go. It's pretty.
Any others on your honorable mention list before I hit mine?
No, I think that was it.
So I had Logan that I mentioned already. I had Ant-Man. I love Paul Rudd in just about anything. I loved the way he played Ant-Man. I thought it was awesome. X-Men Days of Future Past. I mentioned that earlier too, that was one. Captain America Civil War was on my list here. Deadpool 1. The original Iron Man. Wonder Woman. She doesn't get enough love. That first Wonder Woman was awesome.
Not the second.
And as awesome as the first one was, the second one was that bad.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I had Blade as my other honorable mention.
Flash Gordon unfortunately did not make the list.
Did not. And he was the savior of the universe.
He was.
According to Freddie Mercury.
The original.
Yeah, that's. What's that?
Corey says the original Superman. As in, how original are we talking about? The 50s version?
I think he's talking about the Christopher Reeves, which I should have put on my list. That was kind of like the first superhero movie that I really loved. And I should have paid it more respect and at least put it on the honorable mention list.
Now, which one? The one with Zod?
The first one. The rest were trash.
Mm.
The one with Richard Pryor was complete trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did put him on the thumbnail because I did have it in my mind to put it on the list somewhere. But then as I was making the list and started listing out everything, it kind of fell to the wayside. Probably recency bias.
Green Lantern didn't make the list.
I know, which really sucks for me because when I was a comic book guy, Flash and Green Lantern were my two with Batman and Superman. And Flash and Green Lantern, although I will still argue the Flash movie is really good. It just didn't get promoted because of its star.
Yes. But he's very weird in it also.
But that's who the Flash is. He's a kid trying to figure shit out.
Shazam didn't make the list.
It's a good movie too.
Who
There's
looks
too many good ones.
He looks like Amy's husband, but that's neither here nor there. If you look at him in the face in some of the scenes, you will see Scott Radowski.
Scott Radowski, all I can picture is the beard now.
He's like Logan when he was trying to hide.
Hate on Green Lantern, but Ryan Reynolds had some good lines in there. Ryan Reynolds will always have good lines in there.
Listen, he met his wife there, so he's happy about it.
Shazam was more fun than it had any right to be. It really was. It was such a shock. And yeah, Shaq's version of Kazam, you can leave that on the Blockbuster shelf to be demolished with the building.
And Steel with Shaq. Oh yeah, there you go.
That disappointed me too, because I collected Steel comic books. I have the first 15 issues of Steel, and he is awesome. The Shaq version is pathetic.
It's too early. I bet if they redid it, it'd be better.
The suit is awful in that movie. John Henry Irons.
Black Panther is on the list of honorable mention as well.
Really?
Yes. Not the second one. The second one should have not happened.
Second one was terrible. I kept looking at my watch like, is this going to be over soon? And it went on for 3 hours.
It was awful.
No superhero important enough to go 3 hours.
Unless you have 100 of them like Avengers.
Okay. 2.5 hours, I'll give you there. Yeah, yes. They've got to, every 10 years they have to remake Fantastic Four.
Which they are, which is going to be also weird. Didn't they redo it 3 times? Or this is the 3rd time they're redoing it?
This is the 3rd time. Yeah, and it's weird because Michael B. Jordan was in that, right? In the second one?
Yeah.
And then he comes back as Killmonger.
Yeah.
There's no what's his name? Josh. Man, I'm just brain dead today. Josh. No, the guy that plays Cable and also
Josh Brolin.
And then also plays
Thanos.
Yeah, 2 characters in the same story arc.
Well, Chris Evans played Torch and Captain America.
There you go.
Which he's going to be Torch again in Deadpool. So that'll be fun.
Oh my gosh. And there is our co-host chiming in on Facebook. The only people that use Facebook are 50 and over.
Well, she fits.
And I'm 50 and I still don't use Facebook.
You know what happened? We gave her husband a shout out and she got mad. So now she had to jump in.
Yep. You said Scott Radowski is a superhero.
Josh Bridges is the superhero for all us little people. Right, Corey?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man?
Josh Bridges is the real Ant-Man.
Josh Bridges is huge, and I'm still trying to figure out how he's doing that at his age.
You know how. Good dude's coffee.
Good dude's coffee all day. I gotta get me some.
You saw that Gabe is now part owner of Good Dude's Coffee.
Yeah. Talked about that. He is a good dude, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Listen, I went to Facebook to check something and saw you were on.
Yeah.
That's the key, though, Amy, is you went to Facebook to check on something. Nobody does that in 2023. That is 2017. 2016, Josh Bridges' peak male physique.
Agreed.
Who in the superhero universe has the best physique? Alicia Silverstone in the leather suit.
Or Scarlett Johansson in the leather suit.
Exactly. Or Gal Gadot in the leather suit. Amy went onto Facebook to check her pokes.
Amy gets all the pokes on Facebook.
Thor, no question, says Corey Leonard. Kenneth comes in with Brooke Entz.
She was in Wonder Woman.
She was. Briefly.
Is Conan the Barbarian considered a superhero?
I think he's more of like a mythical.
Because Hercules is technically going to be in the next Thor movie.
There's another Thor movie?
Oh, yeah. It's coming.
I don't know, man. It probably is going to be Thor now that I threw it out there, but
Chris Evans in the first Captain America was pretty jacked up.
Killmonger's pretty ripped. Michael B. Jordan doing that CrossFit thing.
Yeah. Or boxing.
So Amy comes in with, I have a picture of my son in 8th grade with Josh Bridges, and Nate was bigger than him then.
Listen, your son right now is like 6'4", 280. What are we talking? Of course he is. Hemsworth is ripped.
He is.
It probably is Hemsworth.
Yeah. Black Adam.
Didn't make the list. Weird.
I didn't mind it. I think people put it down so bad before I saw it that like my expectations were down here.
Yeah.
So it didn't take much to clear the hurdle.
Yeah. But it's just Rock doing Rock things.
Yep. But he's pretty jacked in that.
He is.
I'm not even pulling up Amy's comment.
Yeah, that's not even. He's not even close.
No.
He wouldn't even be top 5.
He looks like Loki in the first Avengers when the Hulk gets a hold of him.
Throws it.
Kenneth says the rock star has faded. I gave Charlie shit about it earlier, but I love the Rock movies, man.
He is not
from
faded.
The Rundown to
Red Notice is good.
It's good.
Hobbs and Shaw was good.
Yeah.
I guess they've been older. Listen, everybody puts one bad one out, or maybe 2. Doom was terrible, but we got stinkers.
And like I said, I didn't mind Black Adam. I thought it was at least it hurt for me. I love the Jumanji movies. I watch them all the time.
Yeah.
Him and the CIA movie with him and Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Central Intelligence.
That's it.
Kevin Hart plays the same person in every movie.
True.
Doom and Tooth Fairy. Yes, those are rough. Walking Tall was decent.
Walking Tall was good. Where I get in trouble is all these like San Andreas,
Yeah.
the
Rampage.
Skyscraper, Rampage. Those were bad. Kevin Hart is a superhero to Charlie.
False. He's smaller than me. I'm his hero. He does have a good tequila, though. Let's not forget about that.
What was he on that I saw? I was watching that Smartless show.
I was gonna say, yeah.
He showed up on the last episode, and he was hammered.
He's got to drink that tequila. Corey is right. Rampage is a good popcorn movie. It's weird.
What does that mean?
One-liners. It's fun. It's just a good time. Leave your brain off.
Scorpion King was trash.
Leo DiCaprio.
He's saying it's The Rock. He's not Leonardo DiCaprio.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know what he was good in? Be Cool. He was good in that.
Have I seen
With John Travolta and Uma Thurman. Vince Vaughn's in it.
Don't think I've seen it.
A lot of people in it. He's being The Rock in it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're out of material now.
Oh, we can
I
go
got to
on.
get back. I got to get back to interviewing people for this documentary.
Well, we're going to have to figure out, is it going to be a surprise for next week?
I think we agreed to Adam Sandler movies.
Oh, all right. Holly's got to know those.
Holly was hanging with us there for a minute.
When we stopped talking about Marvel, she was done.
What's that?
When we stopped talking about Marvel, she was out.
Yeah. Top 5 raunchy comedies. We could probably throw one of those in.
I like that, yeah.
It's just whose definition of raunchy and
how far back can you go? Does Porky's count?
oh my gosh, Porky's is definitely making my list. Holly is in a meeting at work, but listening. Now that's dedication. That's a fan.
That's a fan. We appreciate you, Holly.
We got to pull this up though. But I've seen all today's #proud.
Good for you.
And you were right, Corey. Porky's is the OG raunchy comedy. Here's the Mama Schweitzer funny part of this story.
Uh-oh.
My mom and dad went and saw this movie, Porky's. I was like 15 or 16. She and my dad thought it was the funniest movie they'd ever seen. I wanted to see it. She said, "I'll let you watch it if I go with you. I'll pass." Watching Porky's with your mom is not ideal.
Listen, you can never make that movie again.
No. Could never get made. Revenge of the Nerds, another old school raunchy.
Also couldn't make again.
Yeah.
These things don't age well.
Hangover.
Hangover. The original 3 doesn't count or exist.
Right. The original only.
Well, we gotta save it.
I know.
We gotta save all these.
I'm just spitballing at this point. I haven't even done any research. Every time we make these lists, I think I know what I know, and then I do research, and I'm like, well, I forgot those 7 movies.
Forgot about Blind Date.
So good. All right. Well, with that, everybody, back to the editing bay for me. I interviewed Alex Kazan a little bit ago. We only got halfway through the games on the wrap up. So I got to meet with her again next week to do the second half. I'm meeting with Emily Rolfe tonight to do her wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin Kotler tomorrow.
Just keep.
And then meeting with Rudy and Lynette on Friday.
Nice.
And then hopefully Saturday, starting to compile episode 1 of this bad boy.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Good stuff. It's so funny. Like every time I like set up these interviews, I'm like, it'll only be like 15 minutes. I just need like some comments to fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
And then we still we just start chatting, and it covers way more than we ever thought it would. So Corey Leonard says, so pumped. Dude, I'm so pumped. I saw you're having Shelby Neal on, and she was at Competitors Camp this past weekend. This will be the 4th time Shelby's been on the show. We have been hanging with Shelby for 2 years, and she is really cool. So yeah,
Listen,
gonna
give the
get
people
her
what they want.
So I picked her in the barbell spin poll at 21. She finished 19th. I was one of the only people to have her in the top 25. People don't realize how well-rounded that girl is. 2-time teen athlete. Finally makes her first individual CrossFit Games and finishes 19th. She ain't going anywhere. And she works a full-time job as an engineer.
No excuses.
So Corey says, got to talk to her a bit, and she's pretty damn cool. Yes, she is. Yeah. So that's that. I did, hey, Corey, just so you know, I reached out to Masters Fitness Championship to ask for media credentials. I'll give you the good news. I'm allowed to come and do the filming of the documentary. The weird news is they said we don't hand out media credentials. Just come and do it.
Okay.
Which probably means I have to pay admission.
You're right.
But I'm telling you, I'm going to film your event and pump it up. And okay, never mind. Every time I say something about them, it ends up into a beef on Instagram or something. Yes, Kenneth, Thursday Night CrossFit Talk is going tomorrow. I'm just putting together the final details. Jamie is back from Hawaii, so we have her back. And then Metcon Rush, the organizers are going to be on tomorrow talking about their event going on this weekend, which has a ton of semifinal athletes competing in Hagerstown, Maryland. It's a huge event, so we're going to pump that up a little bit and then get into the normal Thursday Night CrossFit Talk. Yep, that is the quote, Corey. We don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
But they're fine with me coming and shooting and doing stuff. I guess I'm just going to have to pay admission to get in. Small price to pay. Well, with that, guys, we will catch everybody next week. Top 5 Adam Sandler movies next week on the Two Dudes movie review, because we still haven't figured out a better title. With that, we'll see you guys next time. Later.